A wild scene in Chinatown. Federal agents conducting an enforcement on illegal vending on Canal Street.
We believe ICE agents, Homeland Security, FBI were involved in this joint investigation. We don't know if they were coordinating with the NYPD. We don't have that information at this moment. It did get very hot on the scene here as crowds then circled around the agents trying to prevent them from arresting anyone. There was shoving. We saw someone knocked to the ground. We saw a lot of heated emotions out here. There was a lot of cursing at the officers. There was pushing, and we did see at least one person taken into custody, put in handcuffs. Again, this is part of an ongoing federal investigation into illegal vending.
And although you're scared when you ride the train and you're scared when you walk around the streets, and I'll tell you, dude, there was a lot of maniacs in Manhattan. I was like, wow, I don't remember this many maniacs. Like, this is crazy, man. And I feel like every time I get back, it's significantly worse. And, you know, everybody's scared, but like the media told us that the crime's down. So I guess it's down. I just don't take the train at night anymore. And I don't stay out late anymore. And I'm afraid to get in an Uber. And I'm worried about getting carjacked. And I'm worried about getting robbed on New York City street. And wow, there's all these illegals around here doing like really third world crimes off of scooters. But yeah, now everything's good because the media told me. So they billed the billionaire heiress that she's actually brought crime down in New York City and so what they're going to do, in my opinion, is Zohran Mamdani is going to step in. And if Tish really wants to be the mayor, you're going to see the media turn on him. He's going to get the Bill de Blasio treatment. Next thing you know, crime's going to be the worst thing in the world, even though it's going to be at the same levels it's been at the last few months. It's going to continually trickle the way it's been, trickling up, you know, and it's just how they feed you the garbage. And then Jessica Tish is going to make her run for mayor. And she was this big, great crime fighter. And she's coming in to combat the evil Zohran. And that's just how I see it. You know, this article comes out. Tish got a heads up from the Trump administration before the ICE raid on Canal Street. Obviously, I mean, no cops were there. That was the most obvious thing. We pointed it out, right? Like, why were no cops there as ICE agents are having things thrown at them? Like, what was that all about? Where were the cops? You're in lower Manhattan on Canal Street. How were no cops around? It's impossible. And they wouldn't have violated sanctuary city law if they would have helped. If they would have helped make the arrest, possibly. But once the ICE agents are now getting attacked to restore order, so basically they failed at doing their fundamental job. They endangered New York City residents, and Jessica Tish went along with it. And what do you guys think? What do you think, Sal? Is Jessica Tish going to be Zohran Mamdani's police commissioner?
Oh, the soccer moms, no. If she is, it's going to be brief because there's going to be a lot of tension behind the scenes because she thinks that, you know, she's worth billions of dollars. So who is Zohran Mamdani to tell her what to do? That's the problem she had recently behind the scenes. But as we've learned, like when I had John Scholar on, he explained with Tom Donlan, he was a police commissioner before her, what was going on. You heard what happened. It was Madry and Shell and Kazdor. All these other guys were running rampant, and Tom Donlan said, we got to get rid of these guys. And Eric's answer was, they're my top guys that brought crime down. And he's like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? So, and Tariq Shepard, who, by the way, his henchman who tried to kill someone is now pleading guilty, and he's going to get 10 years in New Jersey. That's the wonderful administration Eric Adams put underneath him. And look, the only difference here was if Mamdani stays out of scandals, meaning he doesn't hire his boys that are criminals, if he has any around him, to work in these positions, he'll get reelected. The problem with Eric is he is a criminal. I don't know how else to say it. And he infects other people to do the same kind of activity. So everyone you put underneath him, they're terrible. Every one of them. Now, this one, the soccer mom, she really has no idea what she's doing. And I give him one example was yesterday. I don't know if you noticed, there was the department trial of Detective Smith. Remember her? Eric Sanders represents her. Remember, they said that she was stealing time because the deputy chief, Henderson, told her to stay home and she could work from home because she was caring for an ailing mom. Somebody wrote a blank letter saying she was another one of these blank letter jobs. And you know what happened? The trial commission at the end here is saying, well, I think this is mens rea. We have no case here. Because Eric very nicely put how in the EEOC and for the federal mandates in this guidelines are, if you just ask for help, meaning you need some kind of accommodation, that's it. That's the most you do as an employee. And the fact that Henderson, who's a coward, didn't come to this trial right away. Scott Henderson already said in his own testimony when he was interviewed, he said, I allowed it. He's the chief. Chiefs, not only that, he's an executive. And they were trying to diminish that in the trial room. They were calling him he. They weren't even saying chief. He. No, he's a chief. He overrules all of you guys because he's a executive. He's one of your main executives. Only the chief of patrol, the chief of department, and the first deputy commissioner could overrule this guy. So they want to like act like, you know why? I'll tell you why, John. That's the soccer mom. The soccer mom is taking it out and trying. This is what she's doing. She's literally going after people. And I think Marlon's right. I'm sure Marlon, you're going to say something about this. The Rosario case, for her to stay on, she's going to need to fire those two cops because that's what they want. Anyone who makes the news needs to get fired, need to make an example out of them. That was de Blasio. That was Bratton. That was Ray Kelly. Same thing. If she fires those two, maybe she sticks around. But that's the agenda.
No, I agree. I think that unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it is what it is. And FYI, you were getting the same shit with Cuomo. Like, because again, what we're saying here is like they need to appeal to those voters to win elections. And if Zohran Mamdani, whatever he's pushing, is appealing to voters, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get that same type of thing. I agree with you. You know, I'm praying for those two cops. I hope that we're all wrong here. But I totally agree with you. She's going to need to fire those two cops if she's going to stay. She's going to need to do her shaming ritual to stay on. Marlon, what do you think? Is Jessica Tisch going to be Zohran Mamdani's police commissioner?
Well, I think the reason she didn't make a decision now on those cops is because she wants to stay in the good graces of the far left. But I'm not gonna rule out that she could be his police commissioner. And I'll simply say that what does the police commissioner mean anyway these days? Huh? What does that mean? I mean, sure,
you could have a detective really running the department, right?
Yeah. I mean, they might have given Tisch more room to be PC because of all the blowback from all the Donlin and marginalizing Sewell and then Caban's nonsense. But the thing is, the PC really it doesn't mean anything anymore. You have the deputy mayor of public safety, and he could easily leave her a PC and then put Abbasi as deputy mayor of public safety or Rodney as a deputy mayor, and they're really going to be what the PC used to be in terms of the chief law enforcement executive in the city, administrator in the city. So I don't think the role means much anymore. And when you think of what Mamdani, the fact that his Department of Public Safety, of Community Safety, is his chief, is one of his principal policy agendas. You can kind of see where that deputy mayor may be in charge of community safety, and community safety is going to be at the forefront of a lot of things. And the police commissioner is going to be further marginalized. Okay, so I don't think it means anything. And I'm going to say, if I can, about the Canal Street nonsense. I saw that article yesterday and I got really pissed about it. And the reason why I'm really pissed about it is because they knew 4 hours in advance that ICE was going to be there. Did they take any steps to divert traffic ahead of time so that if you were on your way to work or you were on your way home, you got stuck in a shit show? Okay, so if they didn't do anything about that, that means that they abdicated on their role as police for politics, and that is just beyond egregious. Okay, and I hope anybody who was harmed by that, anybody who missed a critical meeting, anybody who couldn't get to work on time and it affected them, should have some lawsuit against the city for that. Because again, you pay taxes in the city for government services, and if the government isn't going to do those services, then what the hell are you paying taxes for? Okay, you're the police department. It's egregious that you're not going to do the job. Okay, we know they don't want to get involved in ICE, but still, okay, you can't have just like let the situation go on its own and let people who are stuck in that mess fend for themselves. That is completely egregious.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what New York City is, right? I've been saying it for a long time about Eric Adams, politics over everything.
You've just watched a clip from our live episode. Click the description to watch the full episode. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos just like this.